Welcome to Trading Lounge and the gold silver report for the 5th of May, and starting with silver on the daily chart. This is one way to count silver, so from the move up here as wave 1, wave 3, an A wave, a B wave, and 5 waves down for wave C. I'm not that happy with that, and the reason for that is because if I count from wave B here going up this way here, I would normally count this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in that regard. Yeah, I just don't like spikes, because if you take that off there, it just runs smoothly to that point. I have another way to count this, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. What we're trying to do is we're trying to work like with gold on these lows here to confirm that we've got upside here. Okay, so this little move up through here, it can be counted in different ways as well. We need to be a bit mindful of those, but let's just cruise into the, say, 4-hour chart. And with the 4-hour chart, we can look at it. We can look at silver in two different counts, two bullish counts. We're going to look at it in. So this one here, we looked at it yesterday, obviously, because I've got it here, or did I? Can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. So yeah, so we could look at it with as 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then going up for 5 here, and then that would make wave 1 here. So the good news about this is that, well, we've got 5 waves there. We've got the first impulse wave in the opposite direction of the trend. So that means that this market is bullish. So what we also need to do, if that is the top there, that would be, that's about right. Okay, we don't need that one, but I just best check. But that would be 61.8% there, surely. Yeah. Okay, so that's cool. So what we could expect here would be some sort of A, B and C wave here coming down and then moving off there. It may not be so as large as I've got it drawn out there, because we've already got the first wave in there, so it could be something like this. So that's that. The other way to count this is let's just go to the hourly chart. So on the hourly chart, we've been counting it as a possible blue wave 1 and green wave 1 here, so 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and building to the upside. So in this case here, if I can just come back and open this up a little bit, we've got green wave 1 here and green wave 2 here, and then we've got 5 waves up for wave 1 here, and then we'll be looking for wave 2. Now wave A normally comes down really quite sharp as well, so we could look at this. I'll just draw it over this side if that's cool. Wave A here. Wave B could be some sort of corrective move coming back up 61.8%. We can just measure that there. I mean, really anywhere between 40 and 80 is the sort of thing, really. But yeah, coming into that space there somewhere, and then coming back down here and then moving off in that direction. So we'll just allow this to play out here. If you're going to go long, then this second high here, we've got this high up here. You can go long there as well. I mean, even if you're long already, I mean, it's a long way away, but you can think about that as well. But when we get this correction here as the, I can just draw that out as the A wave, the B wave in here somewhere, I'll spend the time looking at gold rather than, on the tick chart rather than this one here. But this is what we're looking for, so that should play out in the next session. So if you're not in silver, then the B wave is the one that you want here as a safe trade, because remember we've got we've got our other count. This one's more powerful, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then heading higher in that way. But we can't forget the 4-hour chart here, where we've got this as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. I kind of like this actually, and the reason I like it for is because of this wave 4 here, which probably could also be placed here. Not that it matters that much. It's just that wave 2s are normally sharp, you know, zigzags, 535 patterns. But this one here is like it's gone drifted sideways, so it's more like a wave 4. So I kind of like this here. Can we do gold like that? It's a little bit tricky with gold, but we're going to have a look at that now. So just on the 4-hour chart, I've always had it as wave 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here, because in this case for wave 1 and 2, you see this move down through here. It's overlapped wave 1 here. So it's hard to call that a wave 4. It's hard to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. It's not to say that it's not possible, and we just need to be aware of it, because that would bring us back down yonder here. That could bring us all the way to this point. I'll just put that there so we know what we're talking about. Yeah, so all of this up here is wave 1 and back for wave 2. But we'll just see how this travels, and we'll just try to understand this. The most important point with all of this, the takeaway for this, is that it's only very subtle, but this little high here that made a high above here, that's really quite critical in my view, because if this was going to be a corrective move to the upside, then this A, B and C wave here, that would be the corrective. So as long as that top didn't get taken out, we could call this an A and a B and a C wave here as corrective. But now that that's just clipped the top out there, well, that can't be an ABC pattern. So whichever way we look at this here, we have to look at it as bullish. I'm just not quite sure if we look at this as wave 1 up here and come back for wave 2, or we look at it as wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, or 5 and 1. So I've got this orange wave 1 here. I put that there yesterday because we'd probably need to label that 1 degree higher, and that means that the blue one will shift to here, but I'll work on that later. Just wanted to put it there. And I'm just going to leave my trend line in here off the low and wave 2 here, because it becomes a bit of what we call a speed line, and it's really kind of over this side here, you know, it's sort of buying time, and on this side it's profit taking time, so to speak, you know, overbought and oversold. So just that simple line there. But I mean, really, the chart itself, the price is that as well, but it just helps define which side of the fence that you're on. And yeah, so let's just go in and have a little look at this here and work out at what point this wave 1 here and 2 here wouldn't be valid, and what does it look like anyway. So let's just cruise in. I don't think the hourly chart's going to give us much here on this, but what we can see here, we've got this nice 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here for this. So we do have a nice impulse wave to the upside there. Is it part of something else? It still doesn't matter, because it still made a high above here. That's the critical point for me. On the tick chart, just to explore this area, so we've got our, don't worry about this too much, we've got our 5 waves up here, so that's good. And so what we can see here is, if we open this up, and this is 100 ticks, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here, and this is a nice 5 wave as well. So we've got 5 waves here, so we could expect the market, just generally speaking, to move up to wave B here into the 50-60% retracement level, and then work lower. Now sometimes you get these double sort of bottoms here, and then just moves off from that point. It may come a little bit lower than that there as well, but that's what we'd be looking at. So we still and what I'm afraid of is that with this particular count, you know, we can't allow the market to take this low out here. If it takes the low out here, then we need to change the count as such. So that's really so that cannot be for this particular count, this low cannot be breached. If that's breached, then we need to go back and look at that blue wave 2, which is lower down at that point. I know this looks quite frightening here, this move down through here. And, you know, we know that there's a lot of paper money. We know those banks are, you know, throwing, you know, lots of money at this, you know, increasing their shorts on these markets. So this is, you know, this is a pretty serious battle that's going on at the moment. But I have to say the bulls, the public buying, may be able to push them out by the looks of it. So yeah, look, we have a very clear 5-wave structure down here. The 50-60% retracement level is back up here a little bit higher. This is all part of group 2 here as well, so we should actually put that in here while we're here. So 65 is one of them, 72 here. So when you get 772 to there, I'll just let me put this in here, and then we've got for group 2, this is group 2 here, 80. So I mean, in a nutshell, if we were looking from 1700 to 1800, the way that I break that down is using the Fibonacci numbers 1, 2, 3 here as price. So that can go there. Don't need that one. So that 1, 2, 3 is group 1. Don't need that one, wherever that came from. So between this whole 100 points here, we've got Fibonacci sequence 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. And then I break it down again, because halfway between 17 and 18 is the 50, so that's the midpoint, that's halfway. And then below that we got group 1, 1, 2, and 3, that plays an important role, and then group 2, and we're in group 2 here. So with group 2, it's 65 and 72 and 80. But what I normally find is that when you get 772 or 272 together, it just plays a stronger role than a normal 72. Anyway, just subtleties. But and I've said that before. I said it like playing way over here as well. It's still very central to what's going on here. So yeah, I wouldn't really like to see for this wave C of wave 2 here, I really wouldn't want to see the 65 here become the resistance. You could put it that way, because if the 65 becomes the resistance, then you know that the 18 is being rejected at that point. Because when we're working with the 18, we take group 1 above and group 2 below, and that's our swing range for that number. And finding support on top of 30 sends us higher, and finding resistance at 65 sends us lower. So I don't really want to see that. So let's just see how this plays out today. And tomorrow we'll be able to look for some, maybe if this holds here, we'll be able to look for some long trade setups there. So just bringing this back here and just recapping this current situation. So we've been looking at it as green wave 2 and then 5 waves up for 1 and back for 2 here. We don't want 1765 group 2 here. We don't want the 1765 to become the retested resistance. We know the move down here is 5 waves, so we know that we'll get a rally and we know we'll get another 5. We just want that to hold. If that doesn't hold or becomes the resistance, then we're going to come down to here. And we have to build back up from that point. And we would have to look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, because it has made a new high above here. Okay, that's it, I think. I don't think this is the US 10-year what's-her-names here. So a daily chart. As I mentioned before, a little bit squashed up here. This is a daily chart for the 10-year yields, so bonds. So we're still in this little correction here for this wave 4 correction. So while this is having some reprieve here, then it's allowing gold to push up a bit higher, I would imagine. It does appear just here that it does look like it's down for 5 waves. Oh no, I can see it as an ABC as well. Yeah, right, and that looks impulsive there. I'll look at this next time, and we'll just we'll figure out this here, because it could be a turning point here. This pushing up can push gold down at that point. So, but anyway, I can still see with all of this here, this trend that we've been following up here, we still got more to go. We definitely got we've still got this to go. We've still got wave 5 of 3 and 4, and we've got this wave 3 here, or wave 5 here for this. So the whole thing up can be, I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't really solved the puzzle of, do we take this as wave 1 here, or wave A, or do we call the low in over here? I'm more to incline call the low in over here myself. Because I just, spikes like this as part of a third wave, so an A and a B and a C here for the 4th and down for the 5th here. So it's quite possible that that this is sitting over here for that. But even so, what I've done, I've always taken the conservative view. I just start counting from, the least possible case, so 1 and 2 here. So from 1 and 2 all the way up for 3, 4 and 5 at this point. So, but even at minimum, we've still got another push to go up to 2% there, so still further to go in this space. We've still got that move to go, which is going to put pressure on gold, So we're kind of just coming back to gold again. We'd been waiting for this little high to come in over this to confirm that this move is going to be further, has got more to go in it. So it has confirmed, not by much, but it's still created that high. So that's a positive, and we got that impulse wave there. I don't see any other way we can counter, because that's definitely 1 and 2. And that's all of the 3rd, 4th and 5th. Yeah, so I think that we're bullish. It's just a matter of which bullish count it is at this point. So we'll see how it plays out in the next session, and we'll pick it up tomorrow. And with any luck, if it's this count here, then I'll be able to get you in over here and build you on through here. But if it comes down here, well, then we need to track an ABC pattern back down into this space here. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.